Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 413. I am Brendan. UFC 304, Blaydes versus Aspinall, Edwards versus Muhammad, right? We're going to talk about all of these things, all of the main card. We're going to break down all the fights, go over them round by round, talk about whether or not this card was worth watching. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way you know when the next video is coming out, and I'd appreciate it. All right, okay. First, I said I would do these in the beginning, and I will do it now. Overall, main card, it was okay. I actually, for my kind of MMA proclivities, I didn't hate it. Okay, based off of what I thought they would be, like when I go into a Belal Muhammad fight, I'm not expecting a barn burner necessarily, right? So I didn't get it. That's fine. Would I go out and buy this the next day after knowing all the results just to watch all the exciting fights? No. There were two decently exciting fights, one that was competitive and back and forth. The other ones were just one way and not exactly the most fun. So let's get into those things. Let's talk about them. Overall, the card was it was okay. 6 out of 10. All right. Let's talk about not the scores. Let's talk about the stats. Okay. So Leon Edwards defending his belt against Belal Muhammad. So Muhammad, I've been a big fan of his for a while, right? When he first got into the UFC, he was a little high on himself. Had a lot of things to work on. He has rounded out his game fairly well, still utilizing the wrestling-heavy approach and able to impose his will, right? Using his cardio as a weapon. He is one of those guys who it is hard for casuals to be a fan of, unless you have some sort of personal relation to him, right? Like if you share his religion, if you share his values, if you share his ethnicity, right? Like it's easy for casuals to get a fan, but his fighting style does not lend itself towards a casual fan experience. So for me, on the other hand, I've been a big fan of his. I've seen him grow up essentially in the UFC, coming off of, I mean, seeing him beat Tim Means and then the loss to Jeff Neal, I was like, okay, that's it, right? Seeing him lose to Jeff Neal, I figure, okay, that's his ceiling. Comes out and beat his Curtis Millender over here. Takashi Sato, you're like, okay, fine. Again, these guys, Lyman good, Diego Lima, again, all fine wins, and then he steps up against Leon Edwards. He's kind of getting outpointed in that fight anyway, and then gets poked in the eye horribly and can't go on. And then we see what I consider the modern Belal Muhammad, where he made this transition. I don't know if it was because of Khabib or during this that he went to Khabib's camp, but the domination of Stephen Thompson, the big win over Vicente Luque, right? Obviously, he took a lot of damage in one of those rounds, but that's okay. Like he got the win in there. Sean Brady, big win for him, right? And Gilbert Burns, that was his biggest win. Yes, it was on shorter notice and blah blah blah. I get it, but then stepping up here and beating Leon Edwards is fantastic. I mean, the guy has done nothing but work hard in the UFC. He's got 4 losses in the UFC. And just, that's a whole lot of green, guys. For those of you guys not watching, it's just an ungodly amount of green, the wins, compared to his losses or no contest. So it's just incredible drive, and him finally getting the belt after probably deserving a title shot for the last couple fights, feels like there's some vindication that like he could have done this. Maybe he could have got the win over Leon the first time, although based off the way it was trending, I didn't think so. Muhammad early and gets a takedown. Edwards back up at 340 and then getting some knees in the clinch. Edwards finding the mark to the body with some knees and kicks, and another takedown at 45 seconds holds him down for the rest of the round. The damage was actually going in favor of Edwards, and if you look at the striking numbers here, they're pretty darn close, right? 15-17 in favor of Muhammad. But the problem was Edwards couldn't finish the round standing on the feet, and that's not why he lost this round. He lost this round because of the damage that Muhammad was able to apply at the end of the round, and then also get the takedown and land a little bit on the ground, right? Making the damage very close and not evident in one way or the other, and then obviously winning in the grappling exchanges. So he takes that first round. Second round, Muhammad keeps the pressure on, using the jabs. Edwards looking for those body shots. Muhammad gets a takedown with 3:40 left. at the 340 mark, right? And grappling, he just dominates. Muhammad is wearing on Edwards, constantly pulling him back down. 40 seconds left. Edwards switches positions and gets on tops, but he's just not able to do enough, right? The striking numbers obviously aren't the tail of this round, 13-11 in favor of Muhammad, but on the ground, 3 minutes and 25 seconds of control time to 49 seconds of control time for Edwards, and that's really what it came down to, guys. And yes, like I said, his style of fighting does not lend itself to the more casual view, but it is hardworking. He is constantly advancing, and Edwards is a hard guy to keep down. So it's one of those ones where there are differences between this and then a guy laying on top for 5 rounds. There was a difference here. It's slight, but you can tell there's a difference. And you watch a Belal Muhammad fight, and you'll see what I'm talking about. 3rd round. Muhammad works his way in through the strikes, and Edwards at the volume gets another takedown. But then here's the problem. Edwards reverses it early in this round, and he's able to stay in control. Had he been able to do this in more than 2 rounds, he would be able. I think Edwards could have won this fight. Edwards had the ability to stay in control on the ground. He was in control on the ground for 4 minutes and 18 seconds. He had his back in this round. So obviously his grappling is up to snuff when he gets on top. He just needs to get there. So I had it 29-28 going into the 4th round. Muhammad with the jabs and the lead hook coming out there. Edwards finding the mark with that one nice left straight hand, but then Muhammad again landing the 1-2 and then gets to his back yet again. He was on his back most of the round with Edwards reversing with 30 seconds left. Again, too little, too late. Down on the striking, 21-6. Down on the grappling, being on his back, 3 minutes and 17 seconds, and then Edwards obviously having a little bit of control for the last 30 seconds. Just not enough. So I had 39-37. Edwards needs a finish, a 10-8 round to keep his belt. Edwards trying to stand his ground, throwing the left straight, but then eventually just keeps giving up ground and backing up. And I understand that it's hard because Muhammad will not take a back step, but the problem is if you give him that forward pressure and you move and you don't circle off to the sides, you're going to put yourself against the fence, and then you're back in the same situation you've been in for the past 4 rounds. Edwards does reverse with 45 seconds left, and now he gets on top, and he starts to land some serious damage. Now, the striking numbers here, 13-13, and I know that the grappling, obviously, the control time went in favor of Muhammad, 320 to 44 seconds, but here's the problem. Edwards landed way more damage in the last 30 seconds of this fight than Muhammad did in the entire 4 minutes leading up to it, 4.5 minutes. So I actually gave this last round to Edwards, which is what I was saying. If Edwards in round 1, round 2, round 4, if any of these, he's able to reverse position and just hold on even a little bit earlier, right? If you go 50-50, you go 2 minutes and 30 seconds of being controlled, and then you control for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, it's a harder round to score. He could possibly win it on that card. It was not a blowout victory, although it was clearly in favor of Muhammad in those rounds. It just there was any moment. You saw it in the last round. If Edwards was able to land some good damage, we're not talking about Muhammad winning the title here. But like I said at the top of this, Muhammad did the work, did what he needed to do, got this done, got his opportunity, and took it. So fantastic finish for him. Or sorry, not fantastic finish, fantastic fight for him. We'll see who's up next. Oh no, my blue light is going out. Shavkat. Duh. Yeah, Shavkat is the next answer. I've been calling for. I think since he entered the UFC, I think I said he was going to be the champion. Right? You've always got. He's not ranked, right? Oh, he is ranked. Chimaev is still ranked in the middleweights. Technically, he could fight at 170. Could fight the dude doesn't fight anymore, so he's too busy selling crypto scams. Anyway, I think obviously Shavkat Rakhmonov is the next fight here. You should be fighting for the title. All right, let's go for it. All right, Tom Aspinall defending the real heavyweight belt. All right, this is the real heavyweight belt. I don't want to hear it. Nobody else has a belt in the heavyweight division. Okay, there isn't one that exists. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. This is for the heavyweight title. Right. There are no other heavyweights deserving of a title shot that are fighting right now. Anyway, Early attacks from Blaydes with the long strikes. Aspinall moves in. They exchange into the clinch. Blaydes finding the right hand, and then Aspinall lands a right behind it. Blaydes goes down face first. Bad positioning. Aspinall gets to his back, lays out a couple shots, and then Goddard calls it off. Do I think the stoppage was a little bit early? Yes. Do I think it was a bad stoppage? No. A good stoppage. Blaydes gets himself in this situation a lot with these heavier hitting heavyweights and these athletic heavyweights. The problem is Blaydes just does not have a heavyweight chin. I've said it 100 times. I think he is one of the best heavyweights in the division, except for his chin, man. And it's unfortunate because he has everything else. I think Tom Aspinall is the evolution. I think Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight in the world, and I'm excited to see him defend his real heavyweight belt as soon as possible. There's some other people out there who say they have a belt, but it's not real. Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby King Green. So apparently he's just going by King Green now. All right, King Green. Pimblett going after the legs early. Nice long jab, long leg kicks. Thing is, like, he's staying way on the outside, not really engaging. Keeping Green on the outside, too, not allowing Green to really forward pressure that much. Green saying, "What's up? What's up?" constantly, which is awesome because it was able to pick it up on the mics. Green has to change his stances because the low kicks are doing damage, and then he eventually goes for a takedown. Pimblett goes for a guillotine, throws the leg over the shoulder, locks up the triangle, and he puts Green to sleep. Obviously, there wasn't a ton of striking in here. Green apparently did outstrike him 15-8. I don't know where he struck him that much. Apparently, he landed more leg kicks. That could be. They just didn't have the same impact. Anyway, Paddy Pimblett's legit. I've been saying it since he came into the UFC. I think that he's Oh, snap. We didn't go over the scorecards. My bad. I think Green's fantastic. Pimblett's was better on this night. I think Pimblett's a better all-around fighter, and he's also really big for the division. So, again, let's see who he's taking on. He wants to take on... He said who did he say he want to take on? Good grief. I know this one. Now I don't remember. He called somebody out, and they said they wanted to see him fight him. It's going to kill me because I'm going to remember it the second we stop talking about it. Whatever. Dead air. We don't need to keep doing this stuff. Oh, Hanato Makano. That's what it was. Money Makano. Yeah, I'd be excited for that one. I'm down for that. Anyway, I wanted to look at the scorecards here for the Leon Edwards fight. Look at this, guys. Derek clearly gave the first round and the third round to Edwards. Ben Cartledge gave the third round and the fifth round to Edwards. So technically, Derek clearly could have saw it. Wow. I told you, it was closer than you think. Derek clearly is a shit judge, but closer than you think. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this is one of the more lackluster fights that should have been a banger. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodrigues. Went all 3 rounds here, and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I was really hoping for a firefight. I was hoping for more striking exchanges, and it just turned into a lot of bad grappling. Good grappling as far as like the control time, but bad grappling as far as like trying to get on the clinch and going for bad takedowns. Rodrigues was able to chase him down, get some nice left hooks in there. Duncan's still trying to find his range and get comfortable, but Rodrigues is going for it already, like right away. Duncan finally landing a hard right hand, but then immediately gets taken down. Duncan was stuck on bottom for most of this round, 3 minutes being stuck on his back, so 10-9. Rodrigues counters a low kick with some nice hooks. Again, Duncan just not looking smooth out there. Duncan going for flying knees and spinning elbows and tight, but gets the back taken. And then he winds up getting in the clinch. The ref separates him in the clinch. This ref was horrible. Who is doing this? Daniel Movahedi. Horrible reffing. Constantly telling them to work as Rodrigues has his back, and he's telling them that you need to work to improve position. That's stupid shit. Shut up. He is in the most dominant position you can possibly be in MMA, and you're going to tell him he needs the work. He already did all the work. That's why he's here. He's in the most dominant position. Okay? Anyway, he separates him in the clinch after they just changed positions, which was stupid. Rodrigues makes Duncan pay for wanting to stay in tight and landing the right hand over and over again. Then a takedown. Obviously, he's up 20-18 going into this last round here, outstriking him 26-13, out grappling him, out controlling him. Duncan is just really uncomfortable, not looking like he's in his groove. He starts around with some good kicks, but then Rodrigues gets in his face and lands those hooks again. Rodrigues gets it back, and that's when I said the ref is telling him to advance. Dude, shut up. That's horrible reffing. Rodrigues was able to win almost every position. I had it 30-27. I think all three judges saw it the same way. Yes, 30-27. Again, not the most exciting fight, not the most technical fight. I would... there's no reason to go back and watch that one. I was hoping for more. Part of it is my expectation. I was hoping for a more exciting fight, knowing these two fighters. All right. Arnold, all in. Allen. Oh, he changed it to Almighty, huh? Oh, yeah, it's Brendan, all in. Allen. My bad. Chikadze going with a ton of kicks to start, going to the body and going up top. Allen isn't able to work into range or mount any offense through the first half of this round. Allen finally takes him down for a second, lands a great left straight, big front kick to end the round for Allen. Chikadze outlanded him, but not by a lot, 14-13. The activity looked like it was in favor of Chikadze. He looked like he was the one putting more offense out there, even though he was backing up the entire time. So I had a 10-9 for Chikadze. Allen finding more success with his pressure this round. Chikadze also landing the jab more because Allen's pushing himself into range more. But Chikadze just will not stop circling the outside, but he's not able to avoid that big left hand as much anymore, slowing down his movements, not as snappy on his side-to-side shuffle. Allen did more damage with those left hands. It should be 19-19. But if you're not paying attention and you think Chikadze's kicks are doing a ton of damage or something and you give him that round, I know why you did it. It's wrong. 16-13 for striking numbers in favor of Allen. If you had the damage anywhere near to close, the difference maker is Allen was moving forward the entire time. If you back up the entire fight and striking and damage is really close, you concede the fight 100% of you concede the round 100% of the time, right? If you are the one retreating and you're looking to counter and you are constantly backpedaling, essentially running away and disengaging from the fight at all times, you better hope that you have done way more damage, right? If it's anywhere near to close, you are conceding that round because you are giving up position. You are not actively engaging. You are not the one trying to end the fight. You are not the one working for a finish. You are conceding that round. And that's what we saw in that second round. That really played a role. And then in the third round, he just got super tired. You know, Allen's finding his jab. Chikadze can't run as easy now. Chikadze really does slow down as the fight goes on. And then Allen was able to keep the pressure on. Chikadze couldn't keep up the backpedaling fast enough or his kicks. And Allen should be win this fight. No discussion. 32-11. Looking at the scorecards here, all three judges had it right here. Ben Cartledge, March Collette, and Anders Olsen. The last two rounds going to Allen. All right, that's it for the main card. Thank you guys for stopping by here. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the next video is coming out. I'd appreciate it. I do want to say, though, after the prelim, so I'll talk about it in the next video, so go check that one out. But after the prelims being as dirty as they were and as long as they were, it was nice to see some finishes and then some good performances on the main card. Like I said at the top of this, was Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards the best fight I've ever seen? No, not even close. It wasn't the most interesting, but as far as what I expected, it came down to meeting my expectations. And then on the flip side of that, the Leroy Duncan versus Rodrigues fight, it did not come close to meeting my expectations. So, that's where the disappointment came for me. If you know what's going to happen or you have a feeling of how the fight's going to kind of play out when you go to watch it, and it does what you expected, you're way less likely to be disappointed. Obviously, you're going to expect it, so what are you disappointed about? All right, that's it. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.